Why won't you let it go, let it go? What we had was never personal, personal. Nothing you could better save your breath, leave your regrets behind. Invincible, you're not invincible.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Approach with Caution podcast. I am your host, Adam Warfel. Beside me, we got the Petty Stacker of the Week.
Yes, sir, it was. I was indeed.
This is Cody. You can find out more about that on Stacking Pennies with Corey LaJoy. Thanks for the shout out, Corey.
Oh, man.
Today we got a special episode. We're going to do a little bit of guest retrospective here. We're going to talk about our fellow co-host here, Alex. Thanks for joining us, Alex.
Thanks for having me. How's it going?
Good, man, good. So we just got back from Pocono. So kind of like I was showing Cody around the garage, he kind of showed you a little bit around the garage this time.
Yeah.
How did that go for you?
I think it was pretty cool. It was big. I mean, there was a lot of the trucks for every racer that was going on. It was really cool. I enjoyed it. You got to meet like all the racers that were out. They had like stands for everyone, and you could like get like pictures and sign them, which was really cool. So I mean, and it was free too, so you didn't have to like pay for your autograph. So it was really dope.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely important for a first time fan. You know, a lot of times when you go, I know Cody and I have been to the grandstands before.
Yeah.
We've been, and you don't get the kind of access that you see there. So Cody, what was your mindset going in here? What did you want to show Alex about, you know, the access that we're so used to that a casual fan or somebody new to the sport probably wouldn't see?
So one of the bigger aspects I really wanted him to see was how everybody's under the impression, not that Alex was, but everybody's on these guys just driving circles for, 2 hours on the end. You know, there's really nothing going on. It gets boring. But what we were able to do, and I know you saw it too, Alex actually asked a lot of good questions. And I was even showing him, you know, he was asking why they were scraping the debris off the tires with the torch. And I was telling him that's how they check the depth, tire wear, you check air pressures, and how the slightest amount of like pressure out or pressure into the tire will affect a single lap. It affects the balance of the car, and it's a sport of science, and people don't really understand that. And it was kind of cool to see him like watch it from so close. And I honestly say that to everybody that's trying to get into it, or even if you're not a fan and like you go as like a guest, that's the first time experience you should get, because I will admit, first time going, I was a kid, so I thought it was cool regardless. But when you go up in the stands as an adult, if you don't drink like myself, like you're in for the long haul. It's a long day, it's hot, but I thought it was just cool, and I will always say that should be the first thing someone should do as a new fan.
Yeah, and even if you go and you're not like really into it, like, I mean, it was generally like a really cool experience, like doing like you're going to a concert or something. Like, you don't have to know the people to have a good time. So it was really like a really awesome time. I mean, it was loud. There's so much going on. It was just, you're always intrigued.
To your point, there is so much going on. I mean, we went out to the fan fair, and you know, you guys were checking out the Oakley sunglasses. There's so much going on out there. We went into the Army section of the Pocono Raceway up there. Alex was doing some workouts, which I don't know the words to, because
clearly you could tell.
Some pull-ups and
he came close to beat the squat record too.
The squat.
One away.
I know. And it was like, I thought 15 was it, and that was the goal, but I could have kept going.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
So, you know, in looking up, did you do any research on, you know, before you went to this race, or you just kind of like, you're kind of casual with some of the drivers, you know, a couple of the truck guys?
Yeah,
you know,
I know a couple of them. No, I didn't know a lot about it going into before we went. I kind of was just like, let's see what it is, like, you know, so it's a big surprise, you know, what's happening, what's going to go on. Obviously, you know, I follow, you know, some racers, so you kind of see a little bit, but you don't really capture the big picture when you're not there. So it's pretty cool.
So now you've had the experience of being in the garage. You've had the experience of going up there. I think it was your cousin that did the national anthem up there.
That was that was the first time. Yeah.
So what was the biggest difference between the first time you went and this time when you were kind of walking around the garage with Cody and myself?
The first time was kind of, I mean, it was the general. What is it, like the pit in the middle?
Yeah, like
You're
the
kind
pit
of like
paddock passes.
yeah. So it was just a stripped down version of what we had recently. So it was only like you got to see the race from the pit in the middle, but the ones that we went to, it was just all access, everything. I mean, you got to go where the racers were and see everything. But we did go on the actual track when your cousin performed, so that was really cool to be on the actual track.
That's a whole other perspective too.
Yeah.
They do I think it's an air show. I believe they do every year around like summertime or whatever, and they actually use the straightaways as runways. So that just puts in description how long and wide these tracks are.
Yeah, people don't understand just how big Pocono is. I mean, you could easily do 6, 7, 8, 10 miles of walking a day, depending on how much you're walking up and down pit road. You're walking in and out of the fan zone. You're walking to your car, which is no easy feat.
Oh, no.
Especially in the heat.
Yeah.
You got lucky there Friday. We had beautiful weather. I mean, a little bit of overcast, beautiful breeze going.
It wasn't hot. It wasn't...
Right.
Yeah.
When we went back up on Saturday and Sunday, man, it was hot as balls.
Oh,
it was
I can
95,
imagine.
right?
And of course, because the Cup race is on Sunday, it rains.
It rained.
Oh.
It was pissing, as
Wow.
we say. Yeah, it was...
Yeah, I couldn't make it to the Cup race.
But I'm sure you're going to be going to a couple more races.
Oh,
with us.
absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
a good time.
Yeah, definitely want to go back for sure.
So, in going with that, hopefully we're going to be heading out to Dover, Monster Mile coming up
next
soon.
week.
That's coming up quick.
So you guys,
So, I mean, you're more than welcome to come join us. And if you're watching the podcast, as you saw, last week's podcast ran a little short. It was roughly around 10 minutes. So if you see us down there, come say hello. We always have our phones on us. We'll be doing on-the-spot interviews. Hopefully we can catch up with a driver or two while we're down there and kind of beef that up. So we hope to see you guys down there. But we're going to get into a couple of more things. We wanted to talk about Pocono.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about your band, Nidarian, coming up right after a couple of words from our sponsors.
Sweet.
So we'll be right back with Alex with some more. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking around. And like I do with every musical guest, I'm going to hand it over to Cody here to fill in a little bit more. He knows a lot more about the musical stuff than I do. So at this point, Cody, feel free to take it over.
Cool. So, God, we've known each other, what,
Oh my God, 8 years
8
maybe?
years, it seems
10
like.
year?
And
Forever.
Another, like a little tidbit, I was friends with his older brother before me and him were even
That's
friends.
right, yeah.
So I grew up going to shows with Greg, his older brother, like playing a trog and all that stuff. We were big into like the hardcore, like metal scene. But when I met Alex, I knew he was really into a program we have around here, and they probably have it across the states. That I would assume around the world. It's called School of Rock.
Yeah.
And I know you picked up drumming, so would you care to enlighten us on that? What made you want to get into drumming?
Drumming? So drumming really wasn't the first instrument I really wanted to play. I was so set on guitar, and I took lessons for maybe half a month. Like I didn't do it long, and I just couldn't grasp it, and just never could. Just was so irritated by it and was just annoyed. So then I was just watching videos on YouTube of people doing covers and stuff, and I was like, if I can't do guitar, maybe this will be easier for me. So I made a little toy drum kit and was just beating on pillows and stuff and playing along with it, and I was like, all right, maybe this could be it. So my parents bought me a little Toys R Us drum kit and
God dang.
never looked back.
Do you still have that kit?
No, I have the drum head from it
Oh, wow.
that I painted for Kiss when I saw Kiss, and I have it signed, so I still have the head from it. So
That's really cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I always thought I was never musically gifted, but Tyler, my cousin, likes to refer to me as a hobby musician. Whereas, if I hear something, I can keep a solid beat. I can learn something, I can play it, but I can't play the whole, can't read sheet music, can't, follow along and stuff like that. And I feel like
It's hard. Sheet
Yeah,
music's-
I feel like a lot of kids and even adults or teenagers nowadays that want to get into that, YouTube is such an essential part for music.
It
There's
is.
so much stuff because you could just pull up,
Yeah.
dare I say, the most probably first learned guitar riff,
Yeah.
Smoke on the Water.
Mhm.
All you do is type Smoke on the Water tab and you can find lessons
Anything, yeah.
everywhere.
And that's how it was. I'm all self-taught, and all I did was just watch videos and just kept picking it up and putting in like headphones in and just was just playing with it until about maybe like I think it was like 13 maybe. I joined School of Rock, which is a program. It is worldwide. Great program. Anyone that's interested in music and wants to play an instrument, you don't even have to play an instrument. They will literally teach you how to play an instrument, and it's so cool because they have lessons that you go every week, and then they have a program called 101, which you go into a room with other kids that play instruments, and you like form a band and you play songs, and then you graduate from that, and then you go into a performance, which you actually play shows outside live in front of an audience. So I did that for a couple of years, and music's been my life ever since. I've just been playing drums for forever. Still play drums though.
So casually, as not a music guy, I hear School of Rock, I think about the movie.
Yeah.
Any correlation, or is that just kind of the School of Rock movie is just a School of Rock movie? Is there any kind of
at the end of the movie, it is, because if you ever seen it, he has a bunch of kids that he teaches how to play. Well, teaches them how to play music, and then at the end, he has his own school where kids come in, and they teach him how to play instruments, which is basically what School of Rock is.
Okay.
So yeah,
and it's so cool because it's such a vast majority, and like I never went, but from the stories he said, the teachers are phenomenal.
They are. Yeah.
You can go from country, you can go to R&B, you can
Yeah.
go to heavy metal, you can go to classic rock.
Exactly.
And you just kind of find your niche, and then it's a cool way to meet friends too, because you're like, oh man, I don't know if anybody else is gonna
play
like
drums
this.
or
But
yeah.
then you get there to that genre, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, this kid's really good at that on guitar. Yeah. Oh, this kid's really good on bass, and it's a great way to start friendships and just learning so much.
Yeah, exactly. And different, like you said, different music too. Like there's so many artists that I listen to today that I wouldn't have thought to listen if it wasn't for School of Rock, because with the performance program, you kind of like there's a list and for different shows. So there's like, so once you get into the performance program, there's like 4 different like shows that you could pick for. It could be like an Elton John show, it could be like a metal show, whatever. And you get on the list, and it's like 40 kids in that show, and you play different songs. And yeah, like you learn so many different genres of music, and it's great. That's what I loved about it.
And that's the cool thing about music is like everybody has their interests. Like I'm a wrestling fan, Cody likes NASCAR, you like music, but everybody listens to music. Mm-hmm. Not everybody watches wrestling, not everybody likes NASCAR. Everybody listens to music, whether you like country, rock. So I mean, it's such a wide thing. Music is so important. If you're listening to it on the way to work, if you're at the gym, I know some, it's really, it can connect people on a different level. So going to work and being a teacher there, it's something you enjoy. It's not like you're going to teach trigonometry where it's like, this kind of sucks. Mm-hmm. So I would assume that'd be kind of a cooler mindset, cooler mood out there.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very positive.
Falling back on what you said about connecting people together, it doesn't even have to be in a musical setting. You could be going to the mall and you see someone with a shirt of a band that you think nobody else is to, and you're like, yo, that is awesome. I need to go, compliment the kid on the shirt, and then it just clicks.
Right.
It connects everybody, no matter, race, gender, all that stuff. Music's just there.
Yeah.
Like, it's never going away. So.
And you can learn, like with School of Rock, you can learn different instruments. Like you didn't have to just play one instrument. You could take lessons for any other instrument you wanted, and you could do it in the show. So like one song you're on, you could play bass, or one song you could play drums in that show. So it was really cool and diverse.
Now I know, for me growing up, my mom and my uncle were 80s, 90s hair metal. Cinderella, Skid Row, Warrant, Trickster, Firehouse, you name it. My plethora of 80s and 90s glam and hair metal is way beyond what a 29-year-old should know.
Right. Oh yeah.
Not sure what you grew up. I know you're a big fan of like the early 90s country.
Love country.
Like
big fan of the hair bands. Mm-hmm. You were talking Poison. I got a little heavier stuff. Quiet Riot. Big fan of Quiet Riot.
Yeah, they're good.
That stuff back then. But 80s, late 70s, early 80s has a lot of good stuff out there.
And then even my grandfather growing up, mostly around him, he was a big Beatles fan. I understand the hype. They do have great songs. I was never into them as much, but from going to car shows with him, you hear them play like the oldie station, like the 50s and 60s. You hear like Dion and the Belmonts, the Beach Boys, the Monkees, you name it, all these bands. Were there any groups that you grew up listening to in your household that you kind of stuck with that made you be like, wow, you know, I can take this into my learning with it? Or did you just kind of play whatever, you know, was on the radio at the time?
I just kind of just, like, when I listen to music, I listen to so many different, like, if I like the song, I'll add it, and I'll, like, even to this day, you know, I'll listen to a song and be like, wow, I really want to drum that, like, I really want to cover that, so I'll just save that song and play it. But growing up, I just listened to everything. Like, it was just, I mean, obviously metal music was, like, you know, the first take on everything, but it kind of just went all over, just different genres, like playing country music, and I was in a country cover band for a while and playing covers and stuff and learning those songs too, so it was generally all over the place.
And believe it or not, fun fact for you, Adam, being a country fan, country has some of the hardest technical
it really does
playing I've ever heard and seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like rudiment-wise, chords, all that stuff. And
so when you listen to music, obviously the first thing you go to is the musician, the lead singer. That's you could pick out songs by the lead singer. You could go, oh, this is that band, this band. And then you hear the guitars. And then, you know the drums are there, but it's not kind of in your face the way the other two are.
I went. There's bass. Nobody knows.
Never heard of
No one knows the bass.
I don't fish. Sorry. So how important is it to you to be the drummer of this band? Where did you guys get together?
So they were already a band before I joined. They put a video on Instagram, and I was friends with their old drummer, and came across the video of them looking for a drummer, and I was like, I'm not doing anything currently, so I'll just send them a message, and they got back to me. They sent me emails of some stuff they were working on, and we got together, and we've been playing ever since. I think I'm like I think it's been 3 years since I've been in it, so yeah.
It was after COVID. It was right around.
Yeah, like right after that.
So what a lot of people see, and like me, I go to a show, I buy a ticket, I see the show, and that's it. Being in a band, what goes into that? I mean, I know your practice schedule doesn't allow you to be free for all the podcasts that we do, things like that. How much practice would you say on average goes into doing one of your shows?
So we practice twice a week. We get together twice a week, and right now, one of the days we'll practice. We'll run through the show. We'll get the set list together for the current show, and then the next time we meet, we'll work on music, work on new stuff, and continue writing for our next EP we're working on. So
okay, cool. So speaking of with big things coming up, you got a big show coming up?
We do, yes. We're playing Newark, New Jersey in July 18th.
Okay.
Yeah. So playing some new songs that's coming out, and it's gonna be a good time.
Where do we find the information for that show? Do you want to plug the Instagram?
Oh yeah, you guys can go on our Instagram. We're on Facebook. Nidarian. There's a silent C in front of it. A lot of people can't pronounce it correctly. It's all right. But yeah, Nidarian. We'll post info in the comment section and stuff. Yeah, everything's posted on our Instagram page. You know where we're at, what's going on. So check us out, follow us, and yeah.
So as kind of a casual fan, for sure Cody might know, but where did you guys get the name, and what's for the C in the front? Who came up with that? Do you know?
So Spencer and Selena came up with it. It means jellyfish. It's a type of jellyfish.
Okay. Called
Nidarian. Yeah, and they kind of rolled with it, and it's been our name since. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Any other?
That's cool. I like it.
Any other questions before we wrap up this section?
I'm pretty good.
All right, guys, we're going to be back with a couple more stories, and we're going to fill you in on what we got coming up right after this break. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around. We're about to wrap it up, but we got a couple more things that we're going to talk about. So we got Season 2 coming up of the Approach with Caution podcast, coming up very, very soon. And we got some big things in the works. We're going to be starting around October time for that Season 2. So we got some spooky stuff coming up. Cody, you want to give some insight on what you guys got coming up?
So pretty much on the inside, we have one of my interviews coming up. I'm big into Halloween, horror, all that stuff. Got some makeup artists from local, Dorney Park Halloween Haunt that Alex still works at.
Yeah.
I'm retired, 11 years.
He is.
Oh man, putting that work.
Putting that work in. Got my number hung up in the rafters of the makeup room.
Yeah.
But I have a good friend of mine coming on the podcast. Don't want to spoil it, but me, Kirsten, and Alex have known for probably around since 2017.
Yeah.
So if you guys are into horror and all that stuff, you're really not going to want to miss it. I can promise you that.
Yeah, season 2 is going to be huge. It's going to be, season 1 was kind of a tester to give you guys a little sampling of what's going on. And, make sure we have all the technical things worked out, get all the kinks out with the sound, the audio, the technical, the visual, make sure all the lighting and staging sets up. And we want to thank everybody who came in to be a part of season 1 of the Approach with Caution podcast. This thing kind of came out of nowhere, right?
It really did. It was like thrown around, jokingly. Because,
we always
all hang out, we say the most out-of-pocket stuff. And we're like, man, we should,
and everyone,
who would listen?
And everyone was like, dude, you guys just have to do it. And we've been saying it for a while. We're like, all right, we'll think about it, and then we just did it. Let's just do it.
Right, and I mean, it came together in what? It felt like a week.
Yeah.
At the time, I texted Cody after work one day, and I set up a little card table here, and there's pictures on the Facebook. There was a little card table here, and the light. That was it. And he came in, he goes, whoa, we need to get on this. And then before you know it, everything was hung up. Alex was here with some audio stuff. I mean, this came out boom, boom, boom. And it felt like it was 1 week from the time we decided to do it to the time we had our first interview. So, I mean, could you guys give a little insight of your process to when we started doing this, what your guys' initial thoughts were?
I mean, my initial thought was, well, one, it's happening. I was like, this, we're getting the ball rolling. And then a part of me was kind of like, I mean, I feel like you're always going to have the doubt in the back of your mind where you're like, who's going to listen to us? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
We always, talk to each other. We always joke around. We go to dinner, go to the casino, whatever. But who's going to really, tune in? Like, who's going to tune in and listen to us? But so far, everybody, our family members, our close friends, everybody's been so super supportive of it that if this is only season 1, I can't believe what 2, 3 in the future could bring.
Right.
With just the small but amazing group we have together right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you always got to start small.
Exactly, and everyone starts somewhere. You watch the YouTube channel starting out, and look at them now. They have hundreds of thousands of followers now. Everyone starts somewhere. So why can't we do it? So that's what we just did it.
Mm-hmm. Right, and it's important the friendship we have. We know on the levels of where everybody's at. So if we want to make a good joke, we can. If we want to tell a good story, we can. This guy.
Our jokes, yeah.
These jokes are great.
Jokes are,
and it's even worse when the cameras are off, but we're trying our best to keep it PG, at least for this season.
Yeah.
Next season, we're going to dive into some more debauchery.
Yeah.
Go
all in.
All in. And we're going to keep improving. And if you're watching this, we want to thank you for, watching, sharing, subscribing, liking, following us on Facebook, Instagram. Cody's been getting on me about getting us a TikTok ready. So, I mean, we're going to have bloopers on there and more behind-the-scenes stuff. So, before we hop off of this interview, Alex, anything else you wanna say to the people out there?
Yeah, just check out the band, Nidarian. Like I said, we'll post comments below. Shows coming up, and more podcasts for you guys. So, yeah, we got more coming for you. So stay tuned.
Cody?
It's cool having you on. Even
Thank
though
you so much.
You forever. It's like I know your whole life story, but just having you on and just talking, getting the aspect. Adam hasn't known you as long as I have, so him hearing your history about how you got into music, all the other stuff you've done, and how you've become, how we've all become close, not just through this, but just in general. So.
And it's important for everybody, out there. I know I share a lot on my Facebook. You share a lot on your Facebook. You share a lot on your Facebook. Your people, your Facebook friends know a lot about you. They don't necessarily know a lot about me. My people don't know about you. Our people don't know about Cody. So these episodes right here, the way we're sitting down, and it's just kind of, you're giving some answers. Cody's going to be getting one coming up soon. And telling the people a little bit about us. it's important to kind of get us out there too, so they know who they're watching and supporting as well.
Yeah.
You know, this was started from practically nothing, and even if we don't take off, if we don't have 1,000 followers, if we don't have 5,000 likes, nothing like this. This was started so we could do exactly what we're doing. We're getting together, we're having fun, we're bringing our friends on, and that's that's one of the most important things. So I want to thank you guys for coming out and doing this with us.
Absolutely.
And for all the people at home watching, I want to thank you for following and supporting along. And we're going to catch you next week on the next episode of Approach with Caution podcast.
Why won't you let it go, let it go? What we had was never personal, personal. Nothing you could better save your path, leave your regrets behind. Invincible, you're not invincible.